What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Angie Uploaded. My name is Angie, and I'd like to thank you for clicking play. I want to let you know that today's video is for entertainment purposes only. Everything in here is alleged. I am not an attorney. I have no outside sources. It is completely developed through the research that I have done on my own. So I suggest that you do your own research and form your own opinions about the subject. And again, everything is alleged. This is still an ongoing process, so there will be follow-up videos to it, and so we don't want to put anything out there that just simply isn't true. But with that being said, if you have not already, please hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell so you'll be notified when I do upload the follow-ups to this video. So today, guys, we are going to be talking about Chrisley Knows Best, and more specifically, Todd and Julie Chrisley. Have you guys ever heard of the show Chrisley Knows Best? It is on the USA Network. As of right now, they have filmed 9 seasons, and they got picked up for a 10th. It is still to be determined when we'll get a date on that, but it was picked up. So you have Todd and Julie, who are the mom and the dad. You have Nanny Faye, who is Todd's mom. And then you have Savannah, Chase, and Grayson, and those are Julie and Todd's children. And Chloe also is featured on the show a lot. She is the granddaughter of Todd and Julie. Now, they do have other kids, but most of the time they are not in the show. So, and I'm really not going to focus on the children in this video, but they are all part of Chrisley Knows Best. And then Chase and Savannah actually got a spinoff over on the E! Network, and it is called Growing Up Chrisley. So just to give you a little background, it's about a real estate mogul, Todd Chrisley, and his family. They live a very, very lavish lifestyle with luxury vehicles like Range Rovers and Mercedes and etc. They have mansions and wonderful, beautiful furnishings for their homes, and just a very beautiful lifestyle. And but somehow when you watch it, you're not feeling, sometimes you wish like, ugh. But you feel a connection with them, because even though they do live this lifestyle, they are very down to earth. Now, Todd, you would just have to watch the show. He has mannerisms that are crazy. He is crazy funny. Everything that comes out of his mouth is hilarious. But he's a germaphobe. And then you have Nanny Faye, who is Todd's mom, and you have Julie, who is very down to earth, but very classy, has a regal presence about her, but still has a sense of humor, and she loves to crack jokes, and they always like to play pranks on each other. And Nanny Faye, I literally would adopt Nanny Faye to be my nanny. I mean, she's great. She's always offering her opinions and little nuggets of wisdom, whether you ask for them or not. from dating apps to gambling in Vegas with the kids. If you saw it, you know. And she's clearly an audience fave. And this is one show that my husband and I could always agree on. We found it years ago and we started watching, and it's one of those shows you could absolutely binge watch. It's just that good. And I think men and women and children, you can all watch it. So anyway, back to Todd. So Todd built a very successful real estate career. He started out by flipping houses for profit. And what flipping houses is, you buy a rundown house, fixer-upper, and you fix it up, and then you sell it for profit. And he also ran Chrisley and Company, which is a clothing line, invested in real estate, retail, asset management, media, and entertainment. So he made mega money at an early age. Now in 2019, Todd and Julie were indicted by the federal grand jury for bank fraud and tax evasion. Now Julie, she was also charged with one count of wire fraud and obstruction of justice. It is reported that she faked a credit report and other documents for loans, and to rent a $13,000 per month home in California, which it is reported that she never paid the rent on, as well as manipulating documents provided to the court for the federal investigation. Their accountant, Peter Tarantino, he has also been charged with one count of conspiracy to defraud the United States and 2 counts of willfully filing false tax returns. The trial began on May the 16th, 2022, so it just started in Atlanta, Georgia, and it is expected to run 3 to 4 weeks. Now, they don't allow cameras in federal court, so we have to wait for them to play out and then, get our information from news sources. The Chrisleys have denied all charges and have pled not guilty. If found guilty, they could face up to 30 years in federal prison. So the prosecution states that the Chrisleys pieced together documents when applying for loans to make it look like they had more in their account than they actually did. Like in one case, they had a statement showing Todd had $4 million in an account when in actuality he only had $20,000 in this account. Also alleging that they used new loans to pay for older loans until they could no longer obtain the loans, and stating that they used these loans to keep up the facade of this lavish lifestyle that they live. So they say that the Chrisleys targeted smaller community banks, believing they would be less scrupulous and it wouldn't be easily detected. Now, the defense blames all the bank fraud and tax evasion on a former employee, Mark Braddock. And Mark Braddock is actually the one who turned the Chrisleys in to the FBI. The Chrisleys' attorney, Bruce H. Morris, said in his opening statement that Braddock committed the fraud while impersonating Todd without Todd or Julie's knowledge. And then he turned on them when he was fired in 2012. Morris also said that Braddock was obsessed with Todd and wanted to be him, buying homes and furniture to live a lifestyle that mimicked Todd's. He had bought one of Todd's former homes and used Todd's old furniture to furnish the home. So that was just a little extra tidbit in there. So Todd had met Mark Braddock, who is an IT professional, at a PTA meeting. And when Todd was presented with a huge investment opportunity, he spoke with Braddock about becoming partners. And then Todd would oversee the flipping of the houses, the out of the door stuff. And Mark was in the office checking on and handling the day-to-day operations of CAM, which is Chrisley Asset Management. So while running CAM, Braddock produced false documents and provided them to banks to get loans in Todd's name. And Todd claims that he had no idea that the documents were fake. So to cover his tracks, Mark Braddock would send emails to Todd's account. Then he would go into Todd's email account, and respond back to himself, Mark, but as Todd. So it looked like they were sending emails back and forth, showing that Todd was well aware of certain things. When Todd found out in 2012, he told Braddock, "You're going to jail." He was also sued by Julie Chrisley for stealing money. Now, also in 2012, Todd filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection. He had listed $4.2 million in assets, but had debts totaling right at $50 million. So Chrisley had guaranteed a real estate development loan, and it failed. So an attorney for Chrisley, Robert Furr, told People he was on the hook for $30 million. If it hadn't happened, he would be fine financially. So in the filing, he claimed to have only $55 in his checking account and $100 in cash. The remainder of his assets consisted of $4.2 million in real estate. In the end, Todd didn't have to repay around $20 million. So Todd and Julie were also charged by the Georgia Department of Revenue for tax evasion. They were ultimately cleared, as it was found that they did not file correctly in 2009, and so they agreed to pay back $77,000. So that's a big thing, right? I mean, they're in federal court right now, being investigated for tax evasion as one of the charges, but the state ultimately found that they misfiled 1 year out of several. So I'm wondering if that's going to have any bearing on the tax evasion part of the federal case. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Don't play one on TV, so I don't know. I am curious, though. However, the Chrisleys have since sued the director of the Georgia Department of Revenue's Office of Special Investigations for targeting. So there is a lot more to this story, in which I will include this part on my follow-up video when we learn more about what's going on in the day-to-day court processes, because it's an ongoing court case right now happening in Atlanta. So I will follow it. It's just a shame that you can't have cameras in a federal courtroom. But what do y'all think? Have you guys watched Chrisley Knows Best? Are you familiar with Todd and Julie and the family? And um, how do you feel about it? Do you think it's just another case of rich people trying to hide assets and evade paying their taxes? Or do you honestly think that they constructed these documents, pieced them together to get loans to live this lifestyle? Um, I'm going to tell you, I love the show, which I said that in the beginning, and I am hoping that it stemmed from actions of Mark Braddock, which he's admitted to, because he got immunity in federal court to basically lay all the information out there. But I'm a little leery of motives and of him and everything, because there's very bad blood. So I'm just curious to see how this is going to come out. I personally am rooting for them. But let me know what you guys think. And if you haven't watched Chrisley Knows Best, I'll link their YouTube channel below. Go take a look at some clips, and then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, it's not for everyone, and I get that, but they're so easy to like and laugh with. And then they also have a podcast called Chrisley Confessions. I know it's on Apple, but it's a really good podcast as well. And I'll have everything linked below. But right now, that's all I've got. And I will do a follow-up as soon as more information comes out in the courts this week. So, thank you, my friends, for watching. If you haven't clicked that like button, please do. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Help the channel. Help me. Help this little channel that could grow. And until next time, my friends, my name is Angie, and I have just uploaded.